Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the live Team Alliance training session for Wednesday, July 17th, 2019. Time right now is approximately 9:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we get started with tonight's training, as usual, I'd like to welcome our new students. Those of you who are joining us in training for the first time, you are definitely in a very safe and powerful learning environment. You're in the right place if you've been losing, and you are in the right place to learn how to deal with the emotional and psychological aspects of yourself. They probably play the biggest role with the success that you're going to have. So you need to really just learn how to control yourself with relation to the market. The market has a very funny way of exposing you to yourself, and what you find out about yourself might be a little disturbing at first, because you'll realize how little patience and discipline you actually have. But as I mentioned, you are in the right place to rectify that. So I suggest that you just stick to the training and what you're being trained to do. Do not deviate from what you're being trained to do, and do not try to rush the process, because you cannot rush the process. If you try to skip steps, try to skip over this because you're anxious to get to the point, where you are in position to earn, you're going to skip over things that you need. So you should not do that, and you're not going to be able to do it anyway, because the market is going to auto-correct you. If there's things that you miss and then you go and try to play around in this market, the market will tear you up, and it'll do it very quickly. So again, the market is your friend in the end, but at the same time, it's a great teacher. And one of the things that I suggest that you do is take heed to the training, because the training will save you from a lot of lessons that the market is ready and willing to teach you. Okay, so I encourage you to apply yourself, lock in, remain plugged in, and most importantly, just don't deviate from what you're being trained to do. All right, don't try to add to it. Don't try to take nothing away from it. Just do it. One of the first things I'm gonna tell you to do out the gate, especially if you're new, inside of the playlist, and I know for some of you I have not shared it with you as of yet, but when I do give it to you, the playlist has close to 400 videos in it right now. The number that I want you to begin with is 336, followed by 301. Those are the two trainings that I want you to begin with. Once you watch 336 and then you watch 301, you need to watch 301 indefinitely. Well, Mark, how long should I watch it for? Forever. Huh? Forever. That means you're never going to stop watching that video. You're never going to stop listening to that video. That video is the roadmap for you as far as training goes. Even other videos that you'll watch or listen to, all they're going to do is reinforce everything in that training. Understand? So that training needs to remain on repeat. Now, one other thing I want to explain to you is the way that you go about training. There's two things that happen when you train. When you watch a video or listen to a video, that is one type of training. What I mean by that is that's one level of training for you. In other words, you're sitting in front of the screen, or you're watching on your phone, you're watching and you're listening to the training, right? That's one. The second, and probably the more powerful way to train, is to train subconsciously. Well, what do we mean by that? I want you to get yourself some earbuds, and I'm like, this is serious. I'm not saying this being funny. I literally want you to get yourself a pair of earbuds, and I want you to every day put the earbuds in your ear before you go to bed and press play. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to even be looking at the screen. Just play it. and allow the training to get into you at the subconscious level. Now, that is a very powerful way for you to train. I used to joke about it, but I don't joke about it anymore. I'm serious, because that's what I've done, and that's what has elevated me to a whole nother level, a level that you guys are able to see me demonstrate. So everything that you see me doing, I know that, you know, a lot of people are amazed by it, and they're like, my goodness, how is he able to do that? It's because I'm out-training you. I out-train everybody. Okay? I make it my goal, my mission to do that, because I want to prove to you what it does. So I'm the actual product of training. Okay? If you're wondering what it looks like when you train right, it looks like me. That's what it looks like. Well, Mark, what do you mean? Exactly what I'm telling you. You should be getting in trouble. Like, you should, you know, be getting yelled at by your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You know, they should be yelling at you about the way that you're going about carrying on with this Team Alliance thing. Are those earbuds in your ear? You should hear that. You know, you should be getting in trouble. And I notice that sounds crazy. You're like, what is he talking about? I'm serious. You literally should be getting into trouble because you're training. Now, when you train like that, there is a direct result that takes place, and it's called execution. Execution is the phase within your training that you want to get to. When you get to the execution phase, it means that you don't even have to think about it. It means that there's no more questions. You don't have to ask, oh, Mark, you know, I looked at the chart, and I was wondering about this. There's going to come a day where you don't ask me anything. There'll come a day where you ask me, did I see it? Instead of you asking me a question about the training, you ask me, did I see the trade that's set up? That's how you know that you're on the level. So I'm introducing you to a number of things by explaining this to you, because this is very powerful, and I'm really focusing in tonight's training on elevation. Okay, the only way that your mind is going to be able to accept the things that I even talk about is through the elevation of your mind first. So the mindset is the most important aspect of this. It's not the market. The market's not going anywhere. The market is always the market. It never changes. And at the same time, it's always changing. Try to make sense of that one. How can something that's always doing something different always be doing the same thing? That's what the market does, and that's what the market is. It makes no sense, but then it makes perfect sense. See, so this is why you do have to commit to training, because when you do, you'll begin to understand and make sense out of everything that you hear me saying now. Because if you're new, you know, depending on where you are mentally, you may not understand anything I'm talking about right now. And that's okay. It is okay. Let me go into the, I want to, before I even get started with what I'm going to focus on tonight, I just want to read some of the comments, because the energy level is high tonight. I already feel it. Nick said he watched 301 3 times already today. Can already tell that that's the Bible. Jay Carly says, serious about the subconscious level. Adam, if you want to be successful, do exactly what successful people do. Tyler, I did the other day at work. Are you watching live stream right now? Don't worry, this isn't affecting my work. In other words, he got in trouble at work. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Adam said, if you don't want to be broke, don't do what broke people do. This is very simple. Sheena said, happy to be here. Jay Carey says she walk around her job with training on speakerphone. Everybody gonna train. Yes. Jay Carly's loud. She out loud with it. Bonnie said, I found 302 very important as well. It is. And like I said, any of the other trainers that you watch are going to reinforce what is in 301. So when you watch and listen to 301, there are going to be things that you miss, and that's why I tell you to keep it on repeat. Because when you become aware of it, it could be something else that might have, actually helped you to understand what was in there in 301. It might have been something, in yesterday's training. Who knows? But like I said, whatever training you watch, you need to back it up with 301. Okay? Mango says, after my wife seen the blueprint withdrawal, she makes sure I got my headphones. Now that right there is real. Here, honey, here's your buds. Yeah. Sheena said, like the thresholds. I got you, Sheena. Matthew said, you will not make any money if you approach this with the poverty mindset, period. Yep. Yes, indeed. So you guys already see, the type of energy that we deal with here. Like that. This is stuff that's coming from the students. This is what comes from the people that train here with us. So you can get an idea of how, you're here now and you're infected already. Even if you don't realize it, you got bit by the bug. And there's no escaping it. It's only a matter of time. It is only a matter of time. All right, so we're going to get into tonight's training. I'm going to do things a little different tonight because what I usually do, I kind of give like an overall synopsis of the platform. But I'm not going to do that right now. I want to get straight into where I'm going because I don't want to lose the focus that I have right now. And, if need be, if you guys have questions about anything, no matter what it is, type your question in the chat. And I will make sure that I get to it. All right? I'm not going to get to it right away, but I will get to it. All right, so we're going to talk about two aspects of, or I should say two components of our protocol. In fact, what it is the first two phases. First phase being environment, the second phase being behavior. These two phases are the foundation of what you're doing when it comes to getting on the chart, getting on the Nadex platform, looking at the 5-minute binary options, and putting yourself in position to take a trade. The foundation of that is understanding the market itself. It has nothing to do with the binaries yet. Okay? Most people, when they're learning something, they're trying to get to the end result. What you're being trained to do here is to embrace and to love and to respect the process, because the results come as a result of the process. Okay? It's not the other way around. You don't just get the results. Thank you. As a matter of fact, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for at all. And the worst thing that you could do is to think that you're getting results. So for example, you might have bought some signals, or you might have bought a strategy, and you start using it, and you might win a few trades. You feel good about the wins, and then you lose a trade, and it all goes downhill from there. You know why? It's because you don't understand why you lost. Now, you don't understand why you won either. But when you win, do you care? And be honest. When you're winning, you really don't care how, do you? You don't care that you don't understand why or how you're winning. But when you're losing, you get a little concerned, like, man, why did I lose that one? Right? See, this is the nature of how your mind works. This is you. It's not somebody else. This is what you do. Why do you think people like gambling? It's the same reason. They like the thrill. They know that they ain't going to win nothing. But they like the thrill and the excitement of possibly winning, when the fact remains that the odds of you actually winning are so small that you're not going to win. You see? So you get all hyped up about the 1 or 2 people out of like 100 million people that won. And you think that you're going to be the one. And what's so crazy is that everybody thinks that it could be them, right? Same reason why you play lotto. Let that lotto get to like 800 million right now. Everybody is going to buy a ticket, even me. Because if it's that big, just in case, right? So it's the same principle. So understand that all of that is relevant and applies here in the market as well. More so in the market for us because the market takes skill in order to deal with and to understand. So let me just, get right into where I'm going. The bottom line is that in order for you on this platform, trading the instruments that we trade, which are the 5-minute binary options, in order for you to win money on this platform, to be profitable, to be consistent, okay, you have to identify the moments of time in the market when the likelihood of the market remaining where it is. I want you to pay attention to my wording, the key words I'm using. Remaining where it is. This has to do with the position of the market. And that's going to be the focus of where I'm going. So let me just backtrack a little bit because I want you to keep up. So again, the environment of the market. This has to do with how fast the market is moving. How fast or slow. Okay? The behavior of the market is how is the market actually moving. Now I want you to understand the dynamic of this and why they're used together. You need to know how fast the market is moving so that you can recognize when the market is moving slowly. Okay? When the market in fact falls into a condition of slow movement. Slow condition. You need to know what that looks like. We have a very specific way to know what that looks like. It's very simple. All we do is we measure the speed. We look at the last digit of the price, and all we need to see is that it's only moving by 1 micropip, which is what that last digit is called. Right here where you see my mouse, the last digit to the far right. That is called the micropip. What we want to see is that that micropip is only moving by 1. More often, more frequently than any other number. Well, Mark, I saw a couple of 2s. I saw some 3s. What I want you to learn to do is to become comfortable with what a slow condition looks like. You know what a slow condition looks like, and you don't have to complicate or make it technical. Just learn to observe the market and feel it. You can feel that a market is slow. The less that it's popping around, the less that it's jumping, the less that it's moving at a higher rate of movement. In other words, the drip is different. What do I mean by that? You ever hear faucet drip? There's different levels of drip, ain't it? Let me give you an example. Drip, 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 drip is not the same as drip, drip, drip. It's all one drop, but the drip is different. This is how the market moves. It has a rhythm to it. It has a way that it moves. Now, we have the tools to actually interpret everything. And this is what I'm breaking down for you. So understand that it starts with the speed. It begins with the environment in the market. Recognizing that the market is in a slow condition. Why would you need the market to slow down? For what purpose? It's the same as in physics. When something slows down, you can actually see the details of it. When the market slows down, you can see the detail of how it's actually moving. If there's too much speed in the market, you can't see that. Everything just looks fast. You don't know how it's moving. It just is. If I asked you how it's moving, you would say fast. You wouldn't say, oh, well, it's actually pretty stable. You wouldn't tell me that. You would say, hey, it's moving fast. I don't know. It's fast. You see? So when the market is too fast, you cannot decipher the actual behavior. This is why we wait for the market to slow down. Now, when the market is in a slow condition, now we can actually see how the price is moving. We can see how it's moving. And once we identify how it's moving, now we can actually pinpoint when the market gets in position how it's going to move, how it is going to behave once it is in position. You're following me? So understand where I'm going with this. When I say in position, what I mean specifically is when the market positions itself relative to a strike price of one of these options. Let me repeat that. When I say in position, I'm referring to where the market puts itself in relation to one of these options. Now, if you look down here visually on the chart, the positioning of the actual lines are reflecting these options up here. So, for example, this line right here in the middle, this black horizontal line going across, this represents the 24.35 strike price. If you look up here in the ladder, that's the one right in the middle, 24.35. If you look at the market itself, the position of the market right now in relation to that strike price, right now it is literally 18, no, I'm sorry. What is it? Yeah, it is, I'm sorry. 18 micropips above this line. In other words, it's 18 micropips above this line right here. That's where the price of the market is right now. Even if I took the chart off, I would know that by looking at the price. Okay? So look at the tools that I'm giving you as far as how to do this thoroughly. Watch. If you look at the position of the price right now, look at the price. It's at 3.7 right now, right? Now there's a strike price for 3.7. So without looking at the chart, right now I know that the price of the market is 2, well now it's 1, back to 2. Now it's 2 micropips above the 24.37 level. You see that? It's literally 2 micropips above there. And I know that without even looking at the chart. Now, what I do and what you're going to do is I look at this price and I study the way that the price moves. Now we're back to phases 1 and 2. Is it moving fast? Oh, it's not moving fast? Okay, it's moving slow. Cool. Now, what's the behavior? How is it moving? I'm going in order. How is it moving? Oh, it's actually moving back and forth a lot. Oh, so it's kind of jerking. All right, well, we don't want to see it jerking. We actually want to see some stability of the movement. So if it's jerking, then that's not us. Look at how I'm simplifying everything for you right now. I just asked 2 questions. Is it moving fast? If the answer is no, we know that it's moving slow. How is it moving? Oh, it's moving kind of jerky. We don't want to see jerky. We don't want to see that. So understand that when you do this process, what you're doing is the first 2 phases of the protocol that we actually use. You see how this has nothing to do with the trade yet. You're learning how to recognize when the market is slow, to recognize how it's moving, and to recognize when it gets in position relative to one of these lines or one of these strike prices. That's what you're doing first. Okay? You're doing that first. So now I want you also to understand, by me saying get in position, I'm not giving you new information. You knew this already. But I didn't focus on it. I'm focusing on it now so that you understand to what degree the market being in position actually translates into what will become a trade that you could potentially enter and have the confidence to take. Okay? So understand that the foundation, phases 1 and 2, speed and environment, which is 1, and the behavior or how it moves, that's 2. That's the second phase. Those are the 2 phases where it starts. Once they're in place and you know that you have a slow environment and you know that the movement is not jerky, in fact, the movement is holding wherever it moves to. That's the key word. holding. Because holding leads right into the market getting in position. Just think about it. Just think about it logically. It flows. All right, market has to slow down first. Why has it got to slow down? So you can see how it's moving. All right, cool. That makes sense. So now that I see how it's moving, I don't like how it's moving. I know that I don't like it either. So what do? We wait. Well, what are we waiting for? We wait until we like how it moves. Oh, let's look at it now. Oh, I like this. I like how it's moving. Well, what do you like about it? When it's moving, it's holding. Okay, cool. Me too. I like that too. So what's next? Well, now it has to actually get in position. Well, what you mean? Well, we got strikes. These price levels right here, they mean something. These are levels right here in the market. So the price has to get in position relative to one of these levels. Once it does, we already know what the existing behavior is. We already know what the environment is. Now you got the confidence that you need. You're following me? I know some of y'all are really going to catch this, and you're going to open up the understanding that you thought that you had about the protocol. It's going to open up wide. Now, I want you to understand something else. Stability is the key to the market remaining in position. Listen to my wording. I just said remaining in position. So remaining would insinuate that it's there. In other words, it already got in position. So if it got in position already, and you're looking for it to remain in position, what do you need present in order for it to remain in position? That's where the hold comes in. Now, understand, look at the terminology move and hold. I want you to, in this training, make the distinction between those two words, and I want you to attach specific things to each word. Move is identifying speed. It's an element of speed. How can you have something that has speed if it doesn't move? Yes? So something would have to move in order to have a speed. How do you know that it's slow? Because of how slow it moved. Now, how do you know that the market is stable? Because it held. It stayed. It remained where? In position. So, in order for it to get in position, it has to move. In order for it to remain in position, it has to do what? Hold. I told you this training was going to be good. Now, mind you, this is what you're doing before you even consider taking a trade. You understand? This is the process that you have to do before trade is revealed to you. Because by the time a trade actually is revealed to you, the reason that you're confident in the trade is because you're confident in the process that you're using to interpret the market. In other words, you're interpreting the market. You're actually making sense out of what the market is showing to you. And you know what to look for, you know what to wait for, and you know what to allow the market to do first. If the market doesn't do that, then there's nothing for you to do. If and when the market does do that, that's when you see trade set up. So understand, the process that you're using is not about picking trades. The process that you're using is about you interpreting the market to the point where trades are revealed. Trades are created. Trades are given to you. You didn't have to find it. The reason that there's a trade is because of the timing of the market being cohesive. Environment and behavior, and the market is in position. There is nothing else. What do you think the parameters are? And this is where it gets very interesting, because you're going to now understand that the parameters are when the market get in position. That's what it is. What the parameters do is they protect the position. The position of what? The position of the market. You're being trained not to lose. Why do you think the parameters are what they are? The whole process was reverse engineered. So, in other words, we have to know what the market looks like when we know and are certain that the market will remain in position. The same reason that we wait for the move whole at the end of a valid setup. Because it ain't about the valid setup, is it? It's not just about that. What is it more so about? Whether or not the market is going to remain in position. Is it going to hold at the end of that valid setup? And that's how MRMH is born. Because we're seeing that the market is holding. You see? So the fact that we wait for MRMH simply means that we're waiting for twofold. It's a twofold process. Once we know that phases 1 and 2 are in place, once the market gets in position, and then everything syncs up, option pricing syncs up with the indicative, meaning that the option pricing syncs up with where the market gets in position. It syncs up. It's cohesive. When you see it, you know it because you get MRMH. That's how you know. So, understand, we're going to look at some examples. And what I'm going to give you is going to give you a lot of clarity as to the way that the market behaves. Now, I want you for a moment to try to erase your preconceived notion about the market and about direction of the market. With what I'm about to show you, direction plays no role in it. It's position. Understand me. It's not about the direction. It's about the positioning of the market. All right? So, what's interesting is that this is actually a good example. This is actually a good example. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so look, we're going to do what we normally do. Right? We wait until we get under the minute mark, and then we go through the process. So I want you to pay attention to something, right? Right now, the market is in position. It's there. We're going to just watch this. Now, you see now when this new minute opened up just now, did you see where the price moved to? I want you to look at where the price moved to and look at where the price ends. Just keep watching. Look at that. Now, tell me what just happened. Tell me what just happened. Nick said it held. Now, it held what? No, don't do the parameters right now. I'm just looking at the market itself and the behavior of the market and how the market was in position the whole time. That's what I want you to pay attention to. Look at what they're saying. Look at what Mick and Jay Carly just said. It held its position. If you notice, I didn't say anything about the strike. I didn't say anything about the direction. All I said was the position of the market, right? That was it. That's all I wanted you to focus on. Walker said, buyers move the price with definiteness towards the end. Pricing shows signs of instability in favor of the buyers. Mango said it held above the strike. Moved position. Walker, what's the second thing that you're saying? Moved position. What do you mean by that? The position is the indicative. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Edward said, looking strictly at the indicative behavior. Yes. Now, yesterday y'all heard me about to talk about the stall and pop, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit because that's relevant. When the market stalls, is it necessarily in position? With what I just explained to you. Jake Harley said no. Edward, no. Anybody else? Mick said not at all. JT said it's like it's staying in a range, kind of like pip ATR, pip size. Yep. Yep. And I'm going to show you something that you'll see all the time and you never paid attention to it. Dude, watch. I'm going to show y'all. When this candle opened up, we got the new candle, right? Oh, excuse me. When this moved at the end and it stayed here, do you see on the next one what the price did? What did the price do on the next one relative to what it ended up doing here? What did it do here? Be more specific. Yes, Sheena. Keep going. It held what? What did it hold? See, because I'm taking you out of how you think about candles and think about the market and what you see. Bingo. Look what Matthew said. It held its position. So listen to me. Listen to me. This right here, you see how this was movement, right? It moved, and when it moved, it ended here. Here it held its position. Position still holding. Position still holding. Position still holding. So when you look at this activity, does this represent stalling? It's not stalling, is it? Why? Why is it not stalling? Because there's still movement. Can't stall if it's moving. And look at what it's doing. When it moves, what does it do? It holds. Don't just look at the range and the distance of the movement. What is it doing? It's moving and it's holding position. See, I told you y'all was going to really appreciate this. I told y'all. See, this you can't even. Adam said, "Heaven is for real." Oh gosh, y'all are crazy. Wow, that is funny. And I knew that y'all would appreciate this because you'll know that what I'm saying is accurate because you already see this all the time. And you've been trying to, I know that some of you it's just been boggling your mind. You're trying to figure out, is that a back tick? Like you running through the parameters in your head. Man, that's a back tick. Oh, man, there's no distance. That's a DQ. Oh, I keep DQing it. I want you to study the market. I want you to do that too, but I want you to study the market. Jeremy, this is your first time here, right? First time on the live trainer? Just so I have context. Second or third? Okay. Ignore the strike price right now. Don't think about lines. Don't think about nothing. I want you to pay attention to the price, the indicative, this. I want you to look at how this is moving. Just pay attention to how it's moving. So look, let's use an example. This right here. Now you saw how this just gapped up, right? It came up here and it's moving. Now just keep watching it. Just keep watching. There is so much information here. Keep watching. Now, look. Now keep watching. Watch what this does. Just pay attention to the way that the price is moving. And matter of fact, I want to make some marks on here because I want to bring your attention to a couple of things as it's happening. And listen, don't start like getting technical. Don't be technical when you're observing this. Just watch. Now that's the end of this binary right here. This. He that has an ear to hear, let him hear. Y'all tell me what's going on. What is the market telling you? Like, why? All right, here, let me help you. Why did I put an arrow here? What happened here? JT is crazy. Matthew's always on it. Boot is always on it. And I'm letting y'all comment because I want to see what y'all are thinking. And I'm gonna go back. And remember, this has nothing to do with direction. That's why this is so crazy. Aha. Jay Carly gets a standing ovation. See, I would have been mad if you didn't. So listen, let me point out where we're going with this. I'm going to start with what Jay Carly said. She said it started a new position. What did we just say when I was talking earlier? How does the market get in position? What does it have to do? It has to move. So when it moves in position, why would it stay? Why would it remain within the position? And you better get it now. What would cause the market to remain in the position that it moved into? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, man. All right, now the training is over. Now the training is over. Mick is like, no. Bingo. Look at what Mahota just said. It's trying to tell you I'm getting stable for you to take some money. Bingo. Wendell said, let the church say amen. See, now, like, this is real. Like, you guys, you understand now what I mean. Now, mind you, we've been doing this the whole time, but you didn't know that this is what you're doing. Because it's laid out in a format for you to follow so that you don't mess it up. Aha. Look at what Adam said. Look at that. Now we're just waiting for that to happen in the last minute. At the end of the binary. See, look, and let's talk about that. Because I want you to understand, and this is going to answer so many questions. Excuse me. Why couldn't you take the trade with 2 minutes left? Like, if this happened at the beginning of the binary, what about that makes it dangerous for you to do? Tell me that. Look at what Eric said. Too much time to do what? Come on, you better get this. Too much time to do what? Nope. Be specific. JT laughing, but that's keep going, JT. To move, to do what? Ah, look at what Edward said. Look at what Bonnie said. Too much time to shift to a new position. No, you didn't, Jay Carly. She's like, give me all the credit. And when you said what, transition? Yeah, Jay Carly is crazy. But you guys get it. You'll get it. Y'all get it. And then on top of that, there is a timing to the movement when it moves in position that you can identify. You'll be able to see the timing. So that's how the market gets in sync, because what you're actually doing is you're waiting for that timing to line up at the end of the binary. Like, now, see, this right here should help you appreciate the protocol even more. This should help you to appreciate MRMH even more. Because MRMH is forcing you to do this and to have all the elements of security in addition. Do you understand the value of that? In other words, you don't have to rely on your ability to see and to do this yourself. So now, because we're going through this, right, you now have an option to do it yourself or to allow MRMH to do it for you. That's where this leaves you now. And I'm not telling you what to do. Because if you listen to what I'm saying carefully, this is giving you more appreciation for the MRMH. What happened today? Today I got 2 trades. What happened before the 2 trades that I got? What happened? What came first? MRMH. That's it. Edward said we don't trade if we don't witness MRMH. Come on, man. That's it. That's our permission slip. And Sheena, you were correct too when you said observation. Absolutely. Eric, I don't think that you watched any of the trainings yet. Did you watch number 301 yet? Okay, so you just guessing what the acronym is. He said Mark's rule, market hold. Nope. Almost. He's like, wait, let me try to figure out what that other M, what's that other M for? Yes, Mark's rule, move and hold. Very good. Yeah, so definitely training number 301. Like I said, did y'all hear me in the beginning when I said to get your earbuds? I'm serious about that. Jeremy says, so it holds if it doesn't move during the last few seconds of the binary. Well, what we just did was we took it a step further than that. Did we not? Because what we just did was we isolated not just a short period of time, we isolated a condition. The market can only do this where it moves and remains in position if it is in a condition. That's why I said, you know that you're in phase 1 and you know that the behavior is there. How do you know behavior is there? Because it's holding. So if it's already holding, now when it moves or it gets in position, it is likely to remain in position. And I know and I understand that this is going to confuse some of you because you're new and you're still trying to get your bearings just on the basics. But this is the basics. I'm just explaining it a different way, and you don't have to try to understand what I'm talking about yet. Just keep watching 301 until it starts clicking. When you watch 301, when you revisit a training like tonight's, it'll make sense to you. This will make sense to you. Right now, this does not have to make sense to you. You need to make sense out of 301 first. And yes, it is. This is clarity on 301. Yep. So that means you got to watch 301 to understand what this means. Yes, it did. J. Carter said, this just shed light on every trade I've ever seen you take. Yep. That's why I call it, anytime that you see me take a trade outside of the framework or outside of what you're being trained to do, it means that I'm doing it on my own. It's a skill trade. It's based on what I'm seeing. But now I'm giving you the same tool that I use to see the market. I just gave it to you. I literally just gave it to you. But mind you, we've always been doing it. And remember that I always bring that up. I'm like, listen, you think that you're doing something new. You're doing the same thing we've been doing the whole time. It's just that you're elevating. We in the elevator going up. That's what we doing. He said, could you explain one more time? No. Nope. Because I can't. Yeah, this is the beauty of the replay. Yes. I'm not even gonna go back to try to re-explain what I just did. I don't even know what I said just now. That's how thorough it was. Like when I watch this back, I know I'll get goosebumps because I don't even know what I just said. But I know that it was right. I know that it was solid all the way through. So you'll notice too that when the market moves in position, the position that it moves into will correlate to the strike price, and you'll know whether or not it is within synchronization by what your option pricing looks like. That's why option pricing as an exercise, or the OPE, is so powerful, because it lets you know whether or not there is stability in the market based on the market's what? Position. See, that's why when you see this type of behavior and you're wondering, man, I don't know if this is a stall, you understand now that there's a difference between the stall and when the market moves and holds, or when it gets in position and remains in position. Huge difference. That's not a stall. In fact, stalls take place more frequently when the market is moving faster, because you'll see speed and then you'll see a pause, and you're like, wait, this thing was just moving 100 miles an hour and just stopped out of nowhere. Why did it stop? It didn't stop because it's in a slow condition now. The market doesn't do that. When it's fast, it will transition into a slow condition. It ain't going to stop on a dime. So that's why you'll see when it pours, it pops. That's what stall and pop is. That's a stall. So you guys are just, you're learning how to become more acclimated with the way that the market, all of this is teaching you about the market. It's helping you to understand the nature of the movement of the market, so you're not scared no more. I know that it's scary when you thinking about, damn, if I'd have took that, I would have lost. I want you to think about what the market did. Why would you have taken that? Well, what did the market tell you that was saying it was okay to take that one at that time? What did the market tell you? Market didn't tell you to do that. You saw a trade set up, and you took it upon yourself to take the trade because you liked how the pricing was on the option, but you were not paying attention to how the market was. You didn't see whether it moved in position. You ain't see how it got there. You don't know what the environment really is like. You don't know what the behavior is really like. And then that's how you get caught up in the moves that'll tear you up. Slaps. You know what a slap is most of the time? Is when you get caught in the transition. You thought that the market was there. It ain't there yet. How many times, literally, and I kid you not, how many times have you heard me say it ain't there yet? I'm constantly saying that. Yeah, the environment looks good. Behavior looks pretty good. It ain't there yet, though. I know what I'm talking about. If I'm saying it ain't there yet, it's because I know that it ain't there yet. That's why I'm saying it. Oh, well, Mark, that last one looked pretty good. Yeah, but it ain't there yet. What do I mean it ain't there yet? I'm not saying a trade ain't there yet. I'm saying the market is not there yet. The market. You can't get a trade without the market being there. Uh-oh. So for everybody taking a whole bunch of trades in demo, It'll help you reevaluate what you're doing. Think about what you're doing in the market. Don't think about the trades that are setting up. Don't just go to phase 3 and apply the parameters and you didn't do the prerequisite work. You need to understand and be aware of the environment of the market first. You need to get good at that. Eric said demo was a complete waste of time. Nah, demo was useful, man. It's useful. It's useful, I would say more so, or the most, when you take your live account and you take the information here and then you execute the trade in the demo account, just so that you can practice. It definitely has its purpose. But, you know, I don't want you to get into artificial trading. And for that reason, I know that that's why you're saying that the demo was a waste of time. And you're right. For that reason, it is a waste of time. If you're doing that, it definitely is. So you want to utilize demo, and you want to treat the demo like it's your live account. So in other words, if you're going to paper trade or practice, you can utilize the demo to actually execute the trades that you would have taken in the live account. And then you keep track of what your trades are doing as far as how they end, etc. So for that purpose, it definitely is powerful for you. And yes, I definitely agree with that. Jay Carly said demo is purposeful for TA who are learning. Yes. Baptist said demo is a waste if you are executing trades on bad habits. Yep. Yep. Jay Carly caught the spirit tonight. I guess there's a reason my name is Mark, huh? Mark chapter 301, he said. Lord have mercy. I told y'all. But this is so, I mean, this is so powerful, man. You know, like, you're really getting to see the nature of movement. You know, it's so funny how the market is a reflection of life, and life is movement. See, if you, like, esoterically, life is represented by movement, isn't it? What is death represented by? Stagnation. You're not doing anything. So as we look at the way that the market moves, it's like we're understanding the nature of how the market moves and making sense of it so that we can profit from the market that we trade. You see? Like we're using an instrument to capitalize on our understanding of how the market moves. Do you know how powerful that is? In other words, we're not picking trades. We're identifying the right timing in the market. The market itself. Come on, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is crazy. Ronnie said, am I training on demo or live? When you see the blue up at the top, you see how this background is blue. That's how you know it's a live account. Nava said, jewels being dropped in training. Love it. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. he blew 3 accounts at $500 each. Yeah, I don't even talk about that anymore because, I mean, like over the course of years, I don't even want to think about how much money financially it was that I've blown. But I look at that as tuition because the education that I ended up with is insane. Like the knowledge that I have now, Lord have mercy. It was all worth it. Ooh, Adam said that's why the windshield is so much bigger than the rear view mirror. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Sheena said timing is everything. Yes, it is. J. Carr said, I fully accept and am thankful for all paid tuition. I'm not even gonna say anything. Y'all tell me something about what's going on the chart now. Just tell me something. Let me see what y'all have to say. Just look at the market and just tell me something. Muhota's on it. Shifted into a new position. Uh-oh. See, I knew that this was going to create monsters. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you guys now at this point is because this is the protocol. Like, I want you to understand. This is not new. It's a deeper level of what you already were doing. You're beginning to understand the why more. And if I equip you with the tools, then the market is going to teach you the rest. Because you have to still expose yourself to the market to understand and to elevate further. But we do that anyway. But I'm just saying, you know, you'll begin to understand what I'm referring to when I say it's transitioning. You'll know what I mean when I say that. I might say it's transitioning, or I might say, you know, it's out of sync. It has to get in position. It's not there yet. I might say something like speed cycle. All of this is relevant to the market. Like, you have to understand, like, I'm not saying these things to confuse you. I'm saying these things because this is what the market does. So you're gaining understanding about what the market is doing. That's what you're getting clarity on. The terminology helps for you to understand what the market is doing because the terminology describes what the market's doing. Look at what we just did tonight. You thought move and hold was just behavior. Didn't you? Move and hold is what the market does. Bingo. It's about the yo. Lord have mercy. J. Carly says she needs this to settle in and prevent the juice man. Oh man, that's called self-awareness right there. Yes. Yeah, you better stay away from the juice man. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. Very good, Mick. Very good. Mick said, "Be careful. The MH behavior can happen out of position. That is a fact." He said, "I told you, Juice Man had talent." Nick says, "So it's not all about watching for back ticks, or that just comes later after confirming MRMH. That comes during the process of confirming MRMH and after confirming MRMH. Because, Nick, what part of the process is that a part of when we're looking for a backtick? Or I should say looking to make sure that we don't see a backtick. What part of the process is that? What phase?" And only Nick answer. Right, what part of the protocol? Out of the three phases. Is it in phase 1, 2, or 3? Bingo, it's in phase 3. So because it's in phase 3, even before you get to where you're applying the parameters for a follow-through trade, in order for you to get the MRMH in the first place, that's going to be a part of the process also. So it's a part of phase 3. You know, whether it's the backtick or 5+1 or, you know, speed at 130 or option pricing having to sync up and be favorable. All of that plays its role when you're in the third phase, but you're only going to be in the third phase as you're applying the first two phases and confirming that they're in place. Like this exercise that I just gave you today is just another way of looking at confirmation of phases 1 and 2, and then ultimately seeing how the market positions itself once you have phases 1 and 2 in place. So it's very interesting how the market moves and holds and then moves and holds. Like, that's crazy, right? But that's what it does. When it's in the right environment and the behavior is present, you'll see it again. And I appreciate that, man. And you're definitely welcome. Like, this is the reason that I'm good at this. Because as soon as I get it, I share it. You try to hold it in and keep it all to yourself, that's what you're going to be left with. You ain't going to be able to elevate. So the elevation process for us now is retarded. Like, it don't even make no sense. The way that you guys are going to be able to navigate in the market is going to just be ridiculous. Because you're understanding the why. This is interesting what Mahot is saying right now. Let me see something. He said, "I personally love it when the market is crazy. It's the clearest communication the market can give you to stay the hell away. It's virtually yelling at you to stay away." Yes. Yes. And I'm telling you, do you realize how valuable that is? That alone, just the fact that the market is keeping you out, that by itself is invaluable. Because you know why you're not doing anything. Come on, man. Jay Carter said, "If you lose now, we fighting for real." And see, this is why I appreciate JT, because he is right. And I gave a disclaimer, right, JT? What was my disclaimer? What I say after I finished just now. I said, I'm not telling you what to do. That's my disclaimer right there. And you know why I say that? Because what you're not going to do is be like, well, Mark said I could do this. No, I didn't. Nope. No, I didn't. Mark ain't said nothing, and it's on record. What I did was I gave you the tool. Edward said, Mark didn't tell you nothing. Yep. Matthew said, everybody ain't ready for this. Nah, man. No. Mick got it right. The market will, though. Yes, it will. And one of the reasons that I'm doing it now, you know, I used to be very reluctant to talk about certain things because, you know, that's my OCD. Like, my OCD causes me to want to have control. I can't control y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came to realize that. I'm like, I can't control these people. They're going to do it anyway. They're going to do whatever they want to do anyway. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done, you're going to do what you want to anyway. So the best that I can do is to give you good things to do. So at least I'm beating you in the head with the good habits. Right? I ain't teaching you bad habits. Now what I did in tonight's training was I exposed more of what you do already, but that was the purpose of it, was to expose more of it so that you just get a deeper understanding of what you already do. It ain't, oh, hey guys, we doing a new strategy. First of all, if you still saying that this is a strategy, I already want to fight you. You call this a strategy one more time, I'm gonna reach through here and lay hands on you. And I'm just kidding, but you know I'm kidding, but I'm not at the same time. I'm serious. Like, listen, this is not a strategy, all right? This is not a method. You are learning about the market, and you got the tools and everything that you need to learn about the market without getting beat up and slapped around by the market. So you still got a choice. You can do it your way and let the market teach you, or you could do it the TA way and learn how not to lose. That's it. There we go. Adam says strategies are for fools that can't think. Wendell said he'll beat you up at TA if you lose a trade. Facts. Fact. Matthew says strategies are gimmicks for temporary soothing. Sound right. Sound like a Band-Aid. Oh my goodness. Jay Carly said her brother just literally right now told her, if you're not doing what you love to do, do what you love and then don't do it. Huh? Wait, did I read that right? Maybe I didn't read it right. I'm sorry. I know I took some of the punch out. She said her punctuation is whack. I understand what you're saying. I don't think I read it right, though. My bad. Matthew caught it, though. He said boom right away. All right, let me try it again. He said, if you don't do what you love because you love, now we talking. If you don't do what you love because you love it, then don't do it. There we go. There we go. We got the energy back. Yeah. Yeah. I get the point now. I didn't get it the first time I read it because I jacked it all up. Ever said, if you can't answer that, you're going to eat crickets? Oh, about MRMH? Bad, oh bad. Yeah, well, doesn't art imitate life? Oh, you like that, right, Jay Carly? I know you like that. Yes. Mick said, this is the process, make it your process. And I mean, you know, like, especially for like the newer folks, like you guys are here for the first time. Several of you tonight, you came on live, and you kind of see what it is that we do. You know, like, we have a lot of fun, and we do a lot of laughing, and we enjoy ourselves during the training process. But this ultimately, you know, this is designed to help you achieve freedom. And for that reason, you really need to take everything seriously that is in place. And there's such an abundance of it. Like, there's so much here. Like, it's like you can't mess it up. You know, if you plug into it, if you just plug into TA, you can't mess it up. You just can't mess it up. Because the first thing that you're going to hear is don't do nothing yet. That's the first thing that's going to be said to you. Don't trade. Observe. Study. Follow the protocol. Like, this is what you're being trained to do out the gate. So you're not being led astray. You're being led onto the path, and you need to stay there. She said, "Oh yeah, and record definitely." Oh snap! Matthew said, "Nobody sleeping tonight. Good luck at those jobs tomorrow." For real, right? I know. My bad. I'm with Matthew though. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Oh my goodness. JT said, I felt like Nick Cannon from Drumline. I knew, but I couldn't explain it. I used Forex terms to describe it, and now you have truly showed me the correct terms and exactly how it applies to MRMH. Yes, sir. Mick says, scary when you realize how the TA process can change your whole life. Lord have mercy. Yeah, this is a lot to digest tonight. For real. Yep, Wendell hit it right on the head. He said, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and what the market going to show you about yourself. Yes, sir. This market is a mirror, baby. It's showing you you. I done stumped myself. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what else to say. That was just like a haymaker. Big said, I gotta walk this one out. Earbuds on deck. J. Carly, I learned a whole bunch about myself, which is why I'm focusing on changing myself. I did not like what I saw. Holder said, environment is great. Sure is. Walker, question from earlier, in case anyone else is experiencing the same thing. How to defeat hesitation. And I know that earlier today, and I think it was after, it was after MRMH. After we got the MRMH this morning, there were multiple trades that set up. we call them clusters. Like anytime trades come after we get the permission slip, and they come, you know, like kind of in abundance, like there's more than one, we call those clusters. One of the things that Walker did was he hesitated on, I think it was 2 trades that came after MRMH. One of them was the one that I took, and I think I took it. I think Ed also took it, and I think somebody else took it also. But this is an important point, you know, because he's like kind of going through the process of within himself why he was reluctant to take the trade when it came. And then another trade set up, and he took that trade, and he ended up literally clicking into the trade as soon as it was reversing. Like literally. So he hesitated on the trade that he saw when it set up, and then what I told him, I think I had mentioned how the hesitation turned into FOMO, because it was like, now because he missed those 2 opportunities that set up, it was almost like, you know, well, the next one I'm taking it. Not to say that that's what it was, but that it does have something to do with it emotionally and psychologically in you. And it, you know, it's something that we do need to talk about, because it's part of you. It's part of what you do. You know, so it's something that we just have to work through. But I'm glad that you reminded me, Walker, and brought it up. He said it's like his finger was frozen. JT said he hesitated, took the trade that changed the position of the... Exactly. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at what JT just said. Look at how tonight's training already done hit. He said he hesitated and took the trade that changed the position before the other trades. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Matthew said, I experienced this in the past. I just got to the point that when you are being given money, it's disrespectful to turn it down. After that, trying to then take money turns into an ambush in a way. And I said something that I said something to Walker that was crazy. I said something to him that was really crazy. I'm gonna let him tell you what I said. Walker, what did I tell you earlier? The bold statement. I'm gonna see if you remember. Because we were talking about a few things, but there was one thing in particular I told you. Yeah, tonight is crazy. I'm not sure how much of this I can handle. How much more? Let me see if he gets it. He might go back and copy and paste it. There it is. Y'all read that? You see what he just put up? Y'all see that, right? Now, do you realize where you have to be mentally to do that? Come on, man. This is what you're being trained to do and to become. No emotions, period. Man, listen. Benito, don't rush the process. Trust the process. Edward, leave your emotions and trust the process. Mick, get out of your own way. Don't let your will confuse your skill. Come on, man. Matthew, it's all business. Muhota, you never have to be emotional if you know your process got your back at all times. Adam said he's about to jump out the window. Oh, snap. I think I'm going to name this training Elevation. Part 1. Jay Carly said I said something different. I said that when I did the challenges, I had an extra 100 on deck just in case, so I didn't care if I took an L, and then I didn't take the L. There it is. Wendell said, walk it like you talk it. Elevation. Oh, there it is. There it is. I was waiting for it. Look at what Matthew just said. Every trade is like $100 trade. Every single one. Big said, you've been sitting on this the whole time. Talk about process. Adam said the money you lose if you did was all free money. See, if you got to out, well, what's the word I'm looking for? If you got to trick yourself into understanding, tell yourself that. What Adam just said. He said the money that you lose if you did was all free money. Sometimes you got to trick yourself. Whatever you got to do to get to that statement about 0 F's, that's what you need to do. Come on, man. Scared money don't make money. Like, it all means the same thing. Walker said, Mick hit it on the head. I had been so religious about perfectly met parameters after MRMH that if I didn't like pristine, I didn't take it. That reminds me so much of Jay Carly, too. I remember when she went through that phase. He said, after today, I started questioning my ability to recognize behavior when the clusters came. Woo! Mughota said, understanding how the market moves into position. Oh, for the title? Yeah, I'm incorporate that. Yep. Yep, and that whole thing you just described, Walker, that was Jay Carly last year. Ain't that crazy? And she kept saying, she's like, I don't know what I'm doing too much. I'm like, you are doing too much. You're thinking about it too much. Then you overthink and you underperform. You want to get to the point where you don't think, you execute. That's why the training is so important. And I'm telling you, the subconscious training, that's it. That right there is the meat and potatoes of this. Earbuds and go to sleep. And I'm serious. Come on, man. JT said he about to do 100 push-ups. Oh, snap. Jay Carly said, I've been through this phase a few times. I was in the hesitation phase now, too, but this just freaking set my life on fire. Edward, those clusters were serious, too. It was like 3 valid follow-through trades. Yes, it was. I'm glad I spent an extra week to understand behavior before I witnessed those clusters this morning. Yep. Matthew said, Walker's so sharp, it's almost like he's cutting himself sometimes. Wendell said he need a latte after this training. Tyler said he over here working on the truck, getting hit in the head with golden nuggets. Definitely. Walker said he thought he'd passed the stupid phase by now. It's very interesting how we revisit some of the things that we have worked through in the past. It's one of the reasons why I know that I can bypass having to deal with myself on certain levels by doing extra training. I literally, like, I'm being serious. Like, you see how powerful tonight's training is? Like, this training right here, I'm going to listen to back and forth. I'm play ping pong with this and 301. Like 301, this one. 301, this one. And I'll just do that. Anytime we have a training that's like, that I know is hard, I do that. Like this right here, I'm going to play in my sleep tonight. That's how you do it. I'm going to bed to this. Bingo. That's it. Matthew said each level up requires a test. There it is. There it is. Hennessy and the macaroon. And yeah, that's what it is. Everything comes full circle. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. We're going to look at this last one. I think I saw what you were talking about just now, Cindy. You said something about between the last two red candles. You talking about this? You said that that's a gap. But what do you mean by that when you said that that's a gap? Because you don't see anything, or you mean that it gapped up or gapped down? What did you mean? You just want to make sure that you have clarity on it. That there was no candle, just a blank space. Okay, yes, correct. And all that is just an indication that there was the indicative or the price was in the same exact spot during that whole move. Not a pause. It was a hold. It was just holding the position. Like if you look at, let me see. You kind of see from here, when the market ended here and it came here, it held the position here, held it here, held it here. And then when it got here, it started to shift its position again. But if you look at how the price is moving, when it's shifting and it's moving, it's getting into a new position and then it's remaining there. Like it's staying in the same position that it's in. So it's not outside of the environment. It's still in the same environment. We're still in a slow condition. So now behavior is being revealed to you. Because the market is slow, you actually can see how it's moving. You see? You can see the movement. And when there is little movement, because it's holding its position, that's when you see instances like this. During this environment, like because of the environment that we're in, this is a slow environment. So that is just letting you know that the market was holding its position in that area. But that's not the same as if the market, you know, had already been moving fast or with more activity, and then it pauses. A pause is when it's moving faster and it pauses. And that pause represents a stall. At least the majority of the time. Sometimes it might turn into slower movement or into movement that doesn't stall. But usually when that pause happens, after there's been movement during a faster market, you'll see it pop after the pause. You see it stall and then it'll pop. You know, it might jump 4 or 5 micropips. But this is all stuff that you just become more and more familiar with. You know, observation is exactly that. one of the things that I also want to encourage you all to do is when you observe, don't try to define what you're seeing. Just watch. Like, don't even try to say, oh, that's this. Oh, okay, that's this. You don't have to do that. When you're in observation mode, just look at what the market is doing. And let the market speak to you. The market is telling you, the market literally is telling us everything right now. Just look at it. It's telling you what it's doing. And because you know how to interpret what it's telling you, it gives you the confidence. That's why when a trade sets up, you're ready to go. You're not scared, oh, what if the market pops? You're not thinking about that because you're watching what the market is telling you. The market ain't telling you nothing about a pop. You see? That's what I mean about observation. Don't even try to define what you're seeing. Let the market give you what it is doing and just listen. Yep, just listen. Muholt is funny. He says somebody left money on the table and I took it. Let me see what Jay Carly's saying here. Oh, excuse me. He said, now, what you taught us tonight, it applies when phase 1 and phase 2 are confirmed. And that's why all the skill trades show that phase 1 and 2 was, yes. Yes, just like when I tell you look at the market, when you see the trades, pay attention to how the market was behaving. When you look at the trades that I've taken, especially in the blueprint, all or none traded, even though y'all don't need to be really watching all of that. If you're watching the blueprint trades, when you look at how the market looked at the times that I took those trades, at least some of them, you'll see what I'm talking about. Phase 1 and phase 2 was in solid. Solid. She said that's how we all knew that that trade from last night was going to stay below. Aha. We just didn't know. We just didn't know why we knew. Yes. Matthew said, this reminds me of all I looked for before I got into training. We just got back to traffic in a way. Yeah, man. We got into a deeper understanding of traffic. Yep. Yep. That's and just think about how crazy that is. Full circle. But now that we're back revisiting where we came from, we're back at an elevated level now. We're not the same people that were looking at it at that time. We're different now. So we see more now. Yeah, it went through all kind of metamorphosis. Traffic, consolidation, slow condition, environment. Like, really? What training number is going to be? I think this is, you know what? I don't even know. I'm going to tell you right now. I think this, ooh, I like that. 390. Yeah, round number. Yes, 390. Round number. See, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. There we go, Mick. You see it. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, snap. Wow. Matthew, he giving up the phone now. Lord, what's the chances of that? 90. Look at what Edward said. Mark giving us the right angles, the right turn. Come on, man. Wow. That's it. I had enough. Had enough. All right, everybody. I'm out. New students, 301, 336, and tonight, 390. Incorporated. This training will be available within about a half hour or so. We'll be back on training mañana. I'll probably see y'all on YouTube somewhere tomorrow at some point, I'm sure. If you have questions or concerns, throw them in the group chat. Also, make sure that you stay connected in the group chat. If I didn't get the playlist to you as of yet, I will make sure that you guys get that. I know a couple of you don't have it yet. I forgot who it was. Whoever it was that doesn't have it yet, I'll make sure that you get it. I'm going to give it to you as soon as I get off. Okay? And we'll be back at it tomorrow. All right? Everybody have an awesome night. I will see you guys momentarily in the group chat. Love, peace, and soul. Good night.